Madam Ambassador, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Minister Aurescu, Mr. Deputy Secretary General of NATO, Joanna, Deputy Ministers, honorable members of U.S. Senate and Congress, parliamentarians, distinguished local authorities, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, let me express my gratitude to be invited to such an important gathering with among very distinguished participants, and express congratulations for the very timely initiative of Helsinki Committee and of Romania. With the war in Ukraine, we are faced with a security challenge affecting not only the Black Sea region, but the whole Euro-Atlantic area. But Black Sea region is at the forefront of the crisis unleashed by Russia's military attack against Ukraine. From the first day of the attack, Turkey's position was clear. We strongly expressed our support for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity on every occasion. The Black Sea is our common home, and it will remain so. As the littoral states, we have common security, economic, commercial, cultural, and environmental interests. Actually, we have had a very good record of cooperation in this region. In the last 30 years, we have developed exemplary multilateral regional cooperation under the umbrella of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation Organization. We also worked with all littoral states to help build a regional security architecture. This aspiration has led to initiatives such as Black Sea 4 and Operation Black Sea Harmony. Obviously, unfortunately, current circumstances do not allow for such initiatives to function. We all know we cannot go back to business as usual. But these are our common achievements as littorals, and we should work to build on them when the conditions permit. Once the war is over, our collective steps will need to factor in Russia in one way or form. Totally discarding them is not a viable option. We should bear in mind that the Black Sea region needs less militarization, no more. We believe that this is a compelling case to advocate sustainable peace and stability in and around the Black Sea. As we move forward, allies and NATO must focus on two lines of effort. Firstly, adapting its deterrence and defense posture as required. This must not be provocative and lead to over-militarization. NATO's measures need to be proportionate and in line with the Montreux Convention. We understand and respect the security concerns of our friends and allies. But more vessels at sea or more fighter aircraft in the air alone do not mean more deterrence or stronger defense. Keeping the region safe and secure will require a strategic vision, cool-headed approach, and a broad thinking. Secondly, supporting the Euro-Atlantic aspirations of countries of the region. Georgia and Ukraine have expectations from NATO. Our Moldovan friends must not be forgotten. We want to see them as closely aligned with NATO as possible. In the meantime, we will continue to encourage them to do more to meet the NATO standards. We have the potential to also overcome the difficulties we face today by working together and standing in solidarity as longtime allies, friends, and neighbors. Turkey has always supported NATO's open door policy. Consequently, the Madrid summit has been a real success, as Sweden and Finland will be valuable additions to our alliance. We will always support new members as long as they are ready to respect and support Turkey's fight against terrorism. Decisions taken at the summit and the new strategic concept will constitute a roadmap for NATO. Message of unity given by the summit has been especially meaningful, taking into consideration of the current critical geopolitical situation. Russia's military attack against Ukraine is unacceptable. It constitutes a grave violation of the UN Charter and international law. Our stance has been clear and consistent since the beginning of war. We are supporting Ukraine in political and humanitarian fields. Our strategic partnership with Ukraine and working relations with Russia have been instrumental in our endeavors for diplomatic settlement. Atrocities on the ground, unfortunately, have stalled the diplomatic process. We want this war to end as soon as possible and the parties start negotiating a peaceful settlement. We believe that diplomacy is the only way for establishing a just and lasting peace. Sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political unity of Ukraine should be preserved in a negotiated settlement. The humanitarian situation in Ukraine continues to deteriorate rapidly. In the context of the ongoing crisis, humanitarian assistance to Ukraine and Moldova have been provided by Turkey as well. And further planning for assistance is ongoing. We are also working closely with the UN and ICRC to ease the humanitarian situation. At the global level, many nations are challenged by the rising energy costs, inflation growth, and impending food crisis. UN approached us with a plan to export Ukrainian grain through Black Sea. We expressed our readiness to help. If the sides agree, we are ready to host a meeting in Istanbul to discuss the technical details of the UN plan. Our aim is to contribute to the international efforts to prevent a global food crisis. Thank you very much.